the tombs of Baruch and Ezekiel. Today I'm going to be going over the prophets and show how they didn't live that long ago. Start at the top. The piety of Baruch and the great favor he enjoyed with God were made known to later generations. Many years after his death, through the marvelous occurrence connected with his tomb, once a Babylonian prince commanded a Jew, Rabbi Solomon by name, to show him the grave of Ezekiel, concerning which he had heard many remarkable tales. The Jew advised the prince first to enter the tomb of Baruch and adjoin that of Ezekiel. Having succeeded in this, he might attempt the same with the tomb of Ezekiel. The teacher of Baruch, in the presence of his grandees and his people, the prince tried to open the grave of Baruch, but his efforts were fruitless. Whoever touched it was at once stricken dead, and an old Arab advised the prince to call upon the Jews to gain interest for him. Seeing that Baruch had been a Jew and his books were still studied by Jews, the Jews prepared themselves by fast prayers, penance, and almsgiving, and they succeeded in opening the grave without a mishap. Baruch was found laying on a marble bier, and the appearance of the corpse was though he had only then passed away. The prince ordered the bier to be brought to the city. The body was entombed there. He thought it was not seemly that Ezekiel and Baruch should rest in the same grave, but the bearers found it impossible to remove the bier more than 2,000 ells from the original grave, not even with the help of numerous draught animals could it be urged single step further. Only the advice of Rabbi Solomon, the prince resolved to enter the bier on the spot. They had reached and also to erect an academy there. This miraculous happenings induced the prince to go to Mecca. There he became convinced of the falseness of Mohammedanism, of which he had hitherto been an adherent, and he converted to Judaism, he and his whole court. Okay, right there, Mohammedanism. So since we know when that was established in the 600s under Muhammad, we can see the time period of when Baruch and Ezekiel was around. So it says here at the beginning, many years after his death, through marvelous occurrences connected with his tomb, once a Babylonian prince commanded a Jew, Rabbi Solomon. So many years after his death, Mohammedanism was established. So Mohammedanism. Mohammedan, also spelled Mohammedan. Mohammedan is a term or a follower of the Islamic prophet Muhammad. It is used as both a noun or an adjective, meaning belonging to, relating to either Muhammad or religion, doctrines, institution, and practice that he established. So we'll see the time frame. And I figure Ezekiel and them lived a few years before that, after they died, so this was already established. So let's move on to the next one real quick. Daniel. The grave of Daniel. Daniel was buried in Shushan, on account of which sore a quarrel was kindled among the inhabitants of the city. Shushan was divided in two parts by a river. The side containing the grave of Daniel was occupied by the wealthy inhabitants, and the poor citizens lived on the other side of the river. The latter maintained that they too would be rich if the grave of Daniel were in their quarter. The frequent disputes, the conflicts, were finally adjusted by a compromise. 1 year, the bier of Daniel reposed on the other side of the river, the next year on the other. When the Persian king Sanjar came to Shushan, he put a stop to the practice of dragging the bier hither and thither. He resorted to another vice for guarding the peace of the city. He had the bier suspended from chains precisely in the middle of the bridge spanning the river. In the same spot erected a house of prayer for all confessions, and out of respect to Daniel, he prohibited fishing in the river for a distance of a mile on either side of the memorial building. The sacredness of the spot appeared when the godless tried to pass by. They were drowned, while the pious remained unscathed. Furthermore, the fish that swam near it had heads glittering like gold. Besides the house of Daniel lay a stone under which he had concealed the holy temple vessels. Once an attempt was made to roll the stone from its place, but whoever ventured to touch it fell dead. The same fate overtook all who later tried to make excavations near the spot. A storm broke out and mowed them down. Okay, so they had quarrels over Daniel's body until the Persian king Sanjar came to Shushan. Persian king Sanjar. Ahmad Sanjar. Ahmad Sanjar, 1085 A.D. to 1157 A.D., was the Sultan of the Sulik Empire, which ruled as until his death in 1157. 1157. So we can see if he made that change with Daniel's body in 1157. So when did Daniel, the prophet, die? Daniel was buried in Shushan on account of which a sore quarrel was enkindled among the inhabitants of the city. So as you can see, I don't suspect Daniel living in the BC times like they give account, the historians give their account. So if Shushan died in 1157, How many years before that did Daniel die? What, in the year 1000 something? 900? Or did he die in 1100? All right, that'll be it for now.